Alrighty then. Hello YouTube, what's going on? It is me, Discord, the Lord of Chaos. First of all, we're starting off with a dramatic reading. This is called The Assassination of Twilight Sparkle. Here's the synopsis. 1 year after her coronation, Princess Twilight Sparkle is dead, killed by her own subject out of fear and jealousy. After the funeral, Princess Celestia isolated herself from the world, mourning the loss of her brightest student and daughter figure. She cannot weep forever, just must take control of her duties once more, haunted by the memories of the assassination. In its aftermath, Celestia slowly makes her way to Twilight's resting place to find some closure. And let's begin with Chapter 1, Regret. Chapter 1. Celestia could remember the first book she had ever given Twilight Sparkle. It was one day she had arrived at the castle for the first time when their tour directed the pair towards the royal library. Celestia and her known foals, and even adults, they were eager to learn and read, but never before had seen a filly jump all around, cheering and dancing at the notion that all the books were hers to read whenever she wanted. When Twilight couldn't pick just which book to take out first, Celestia just picked something at random and brought it down for a new apprentice, Starswell the Bearded's Guide to Arcane Arts. Since then, Starswell had been Twilight's first favorite historical pony. The little unicorn Celestia had taken under her wing had read the book in 3 days. By the end of her first year in the castle, Twilight had read it over 100 times. There had been many books after that, with more advanced studies, but Twilight never stopped reading the one book over and over. When Celestia asked her apprentice one day why she was always had that book, Twilight replied, "It's the first gift you've ever given me. I'm always going to treasure it forever." That was when Celestia knew her relationship with Twilight Sparkle would be special, and she was right. She had taken many apprentices throughout her 1,000 years of solitary reign, and each was special in their own way. Yet Twilight was different from all of them, a fact she'd proven time and time again. Twilight was destined to change Equestria in ways that not even Celestia herself could have done. Every task Twilight had been given, she had conquered. Nightmare Moon, Discord, Sombra, and more. God damn it, Twilight all made me stone. And then Twilight had done the impossible, something even Starswell had tried but failed. She'd become an Alicorn, a princess of Equestria. She had achieved her destiny, was ready to bring about the change the nation needed so desperately for too long, and been stuck in the old ways. And despite Celestia's efforts, most ponies were content and things staying the same. However, this couldn't last forever. The dragons were the beginning to unite again, something that hadn't happened in nearly 800 years since the last Dragon Civil War. The Griffins were becoming more technological advanced, using science and machines to now be able to perform feats once thought only possible with magic. They were even whispers from sailors that journeyed far into the Western Sea, telling stories of new lands with their own civilizations. The world was changing, and if Equestria was to successfully adapt to the future, it would need to change along with it. Twilight was the only possible pony who could have helped Celestia set the foundation for this. Luna, despite her fast learning, was still adjusting to modern society and politics. Cadence, although young and strong, was too busy helping her new kingdom rebuild. After being gone for 1,000 years, no, Twilight was the only one capable of helping her usher in a new age. Her faithful student had experienced both the noble and common way of life. She had befriended other species outside of her own, and she had friends who'd shaped her into a better pony with virtues and ideals. Celestia, resting on her bed, stared at the first book she had given to Twilight, a book that had seen better days, yet held so many memories. Memories that could now brought up nothing but pain. Celestia's tears fell upon the book that served only to remind her what she had lost. What they had all lost. If she had known Twilight's fate after her ascension into Alicornhood, what her own subjects would do upon learning of a fourth Alicorn with a new leader, she would never have sent that spellbook to Twilight. Her now departed student will still be in Ponyville, happy and content with her new friends. Instead of being in the Memorial Gardens in eternal sleep, 5 mares, some of the bravest and most compassionate ponies she had ever known, would still have their best friend, a baby dragon, would still have his mother. Her family would not have had to mourn for the loss of its youngest. And Celestia's eye would not be teary-eyed and bloodshot. In the midst of her sobbing, she heard the front doors of her bedchambers open. She knew who it was, the same pony that had visited her every night since the day of the funeral. Princess Luna closed the doors inside, looking upon the ruined pony that called older sister Celestia. This has gone on long enough. You have sealed yourself from the world for 4 months now. Have you not mourned enough? I will finish mourning when I finish, Luna, whispered Celestia, turning away from her sister's sympathetic gaze. Leave me. I wish to be alone. You have never said that day and night since the funeral, said Luna, stepping forward. I cannot take care of both courts by myself forever, sister. You must return to your duties. I raised the sun. Is that not enough? Replied Celestia, narrowing her eyes at her younger sister. Luna calmly placed her hoof on Celestia's shoulder, but the elder Alicorn pushed it away. Sister, our subjects worry for you. They ask me every day if you are well, wishing you the best. Many beg your forgiveness, while others fear you have killed yourself in grief. You will not at least make one small appearance just to ease their concerns? Why should I? Demanded Celestia, standing up to her bed with eyes wrathful as a storm from the seas. She glared at the city of Canterlot and hissed. Why should I care for the subjects who have given everything I've loved, only to have it all rejected and spit on? Why should I care any more for the endless quarrels or their demands for happiness when they take my own? It's their fault that she's dead. Sister, enough, demanded Luna, growling. Those ones who assassinated Twilight lie in their graves, as well as those who conspire with the plot. You saw to their executions yourself. Besides, none of your subjects hated Twilight and her policies. There were so many strong supporters, you cannot blame them all for her death. Celestia screamed as she pointed her horn towards one of her windows and unleashed a beam of energy, shattering it into pieces. The guards outside her chambers ran inside, weapons drawn for any danger, but upon seeing no danger, and with Luna quickly calming them, they bowed and soon went back to their posts. When it was just the two of them again, Luna slowly walked to her big sister and hugged her from behind. Celestia, silently crying, closed her eyes and muttered, "I should have done something, anything to help her, but just like you, I failed to protect her." "There was nothing you could have done," whispered Luna, holding back her own tears. "You cannot always change the hearts of ponies." "I just don't understand it." And Celestia, lowering her head, "She had such big plans for us all. Equestria would have benefited from her actions in the years to come. How could they just do this to her when all she wanted was to give them a better future? Her plans were radical. They would have changed everything," stated Luna, as her sister stared down at the thought of tangled locks of unwashed mane. The nobles could not just stand at the idea of losing their power and sharing it with the commoners. Twilight wanted to be our nation, to be more tolerant of the other races, something our more xenophobic subjects never could stand for. Even the idea of adapting to more technological forms of life instead of magic was outrageous to them. In the end, they feared change. "Sister, but why? I supported them," shouted Celestia. "I was there for Twilight all the way. Even others of high influence like Fancy Pants and the other elements in several of the most noble houses in Camelot supported her. Even if they didn't trust her, they could at least have trusted me. And you know the rumors they spread around," said Luna. Celestia's horn flashed, her magic sending gifts from friends and lovers many years ago across the floor and scattering them in a jumbled mess. "I was not being manipulated, nor was I in danger of being overthrown. How could they just say such horrible things about Twilight?" She fell to her stomach and shook her head before burrowing into her hooves. "This wasn't supposed to happen. None of this." "Tia!" Luna knelt down and wrapped a wing around her sister. "You and I know that the destiny is never set in stone. Choices we make in life, as well as the actions of others, change the future into paths we can never foresee." "But to kill Twilight," muttered Celestia, wiping her tears. "I still should have done something, prepared her for better, given her better guards. Maybe I should have never let her become an Alicorn or princess to begin with." "You did all that you could, Tia," assured Luna. "No penny could have predicted this. But I promised her, Luna. I promised her." They kept coming over and over again, like an endless storm. Celestia had known from some of her subjects would not take Twilight's new position so easily, but she had never expected this sheer scale of backlash ever since the coronation. The amount of negative responses had only increased over time, just not for the nobles, but for the commoners as well. Thankfully, there were still those who favored Twilight's new title, but they were simply not as vocal, nor as annoying as the opposition. The only good thing was that the letters kept receiving were good, from kindling her fireplace. Oh, Jesus. When they threw another pile onto them, the flames, a knock on her door alerted her of a guest. "Come in." Turning around, she saw the 7-month experienced Princess Twilight Sparkle slowly enter her chambers. Celestia was ready to greet her student, now equal, when she noticed the frown on Twilight's face. Sighing, Celestia got up and wrapped her wing around her student, letting Twilight rest her head on her regalia-free chest. "Bad day?" "Yes," whispered Twilight. "Do you want to talk about it? Can we just hug first? I could really use a friend." Celestia guided Twilight to a bed, where the two of them embraced each other in silence. "I brought the experienced ruler back to their early years, together, when she was simply a motherly figure, comforting a little felly unicorn who had a bad dream and missed her family, even if Twilight was no longer the young native pony that she took in years ago. She would have never denied her student the warmth of a loving hug." The two of them continued to hold one another until Twilight slowly moved her head from Celestia's chest and shook her head. I don't think I can do this, Princess Celestia. All the looks I get, even when I'm acting nice to them, they just don't trust me like they do with you. It's even worse when you give me to your court to rule. Things they say about me, both behind my back and in front of my face. Twilight sparkled, said Celestia, nuzzling her cheek. I am not as loved as you might think I am. Even I have political enemies who say things about me. Don't let these foolish attempts get under your coat bother you. It will pass in time, I know, but... Twilight sat up from the bed and made her way towards the balcony, looking down at the land she had protected for so long. Not too long ago, she was living there, learning about a prophecy of a great disaster. Now she was ruling her home and the rest of her country. Equally with two others, after all her accomplishments. Sometimes I think I'm way over in my head. I know this is my destiny, and that you said I had the potential to be great. I wanted to be great as you, to do for the best of Equestria. She rested her head on the railing and closed her eyes. I just wish I knew what to get them to like me. I'm not trying to overthrow you like they say, and I wish they could see how good my ideas for all of us are. I trust you when I say I deserve this more than any pony else, but sometimes I can wonder if I can really do this. Can I really be a good princess? Celestia joined her students side by side and looked down at the city loved, filled with the ponies she would die for. I know how you feel, Twilight. When Luna and I came into power, after our parents' passing and Discord's imprisonment, we were looked upon with distrust. Well, it took many years, and what I thought some horrible times. Twilight looked at her mentor, who gave her a smile. But Luna and I were there for each other. We had our friends, they for us when we needed them. In the end, we won the hearts of our subjects, and together we can do the same for you. There are many out there who know you are a savior of Equestria, and that you have the potential to do even greater things. You have me, your friends, and your family who be behind you all the way. We will protect you, Twilight. I will protect you. With teary eyes, Twilight hugged her mentor. Thank you. Celestia could only smile and nuzzle the top of her student's head. Careful of the tiaras she wore. What do you say the three of us princesses go to Ponyville and hang out with your friends? Just us, and no pony else. I would love that, Princess Celestia, replied Twilight with a beaming grin. The two princesses went back inside, and soon began to talk about their plans for tomorrow, away from the world of politics. Luna wiping her tears from her eyes and watched as her sisters walked over to her dressing cabinet and levitated a frame off the top. It showed the recently turned alicorn Twilight with every pony she had loved by her side, posing for a photo during the coronation party. Every pony looked so happy and so full of life. And opposite of what they're all feeling now, I promised her, Luna. I said everything will be okay, and that I would protect her, said Celestia as her tears dripped onto the photo, and I failed to keep her safe. I let those monsters kill her under this very roof. So what do you do now? Waste away in this room forever? Demanded Luna. You're still a princess, Celestia, and you have gone through a loss before, just like I have. We must be strong and move on. If not for our sake, then for our subjects. I know this hurts. You know? Shouted Celestia, the raw candlelight voice that caused the remaining windows to shatter. You know nothing of what I feel. Feeling Luna. She was more than just an apprentice, more than just a friend. She was a daughter to me, levitating the crown off of her head. Celestia threw it as hard as she could against the wall. Despite the force it was thrown with, it didn't shatter and bounced off without a scratch. And as for my so-called subjects and being a princess, it can all go to Tartarus. Let somebody else raise the sun. Let somebody else guide a bunch of ignorant, paranoid masses into whatever forsaken future they want. This pathetic crown has done nothing but make me miserable with every loss I have suffered. How much more must I give to this position before I'm left with nothing? I'm tired of having my duties rule my life, Luna, and I just want... The sudden strike against her cheek echoed across the room. It took Celestia nearly a minute to figure out that her younger sister had slapped her across the face. Slowly turning towards Luna, she immediately stopped upon seeing the icy glare that shivers down her spine. How dare you, Luna? How dare you, muttered Luna. How dare you that you say that I do not feel the same pain as you do? Twilight Sparkle was more than just a friend, but the first friend I had after 1,000 years of isolation. When all other ponies feared me, she trusted me and helped me win back their respect. She helped me become a better pony by learning about this modern world, and never once gave up on me. She listened to my fears, my hopes and dreams. Celestia, she may have been a daughter to you, but she was a sister to me. For the first time in her life, Celestia felt insignificant and small against her younger sister, who stomped her way forward. Celestia fell on her rump, slowly shuffling herself back until Luna towered over her before continuing to speak. And how dare you now name our rule as rulers of Equestria pathetic? This only one being pathetic is you, sister. She gritted her teeth. Do you choose to forget the promise we made to mother and father as they slowly died in front of us? How we would rule with love and wisdom until the time came for our burden to end and join them? I know this is a burden, Celestia. Believe me, I know more than any pony how much we suffer to keep Equestria safe. Yet, if you give up now, then you have shamed not only our family, but all those who loved and trusted us. You will shame Twilight Sparkle, who always had faith in you no matter what. Celestia levitated Celestia's crown back towards her. You will disrespect her by allowing yourself to be locked in this room, whining about how miserable your life is? Or will you take the crown once again and become the princess that all love and respect, the sister I love and respect? Celestia stared at the crown. She wanted nothing more than to toss it into the sun and run away from everything. However, she knew Luna was right, as a tear fell upon the cloud that she held with weak hooves in her parents, or even Twilight, were to look at her now. They would indeed be disgusted by her actions. Taking the crown with her own magic, Celestia put it on her own with her own magic. Celestia put her on her head and sighed. Luna, I'm so sorry. Don't ask for forgiveness here, whispered Luna, holding her half out and helping her sister up. We are not invincible gods, but ponies who feel such sorrow in dark times. Such thoughts even plagued me once in a while. But what do I do, Luna? Asked Celestia, staring into her sister's eyes. What do I do now? Luna was quiet for a while before she replied. Go to her, Tia. Go to Twilight Sparkle and say the goodbyes you should have 4 months ago. Celestia hesitated to answer, but slowly nodded her head. Yes, I will. I need some time to prepare myself. Making her towards the door, Celestia stopped and quickly levitated Starsoul's book to her side, hoping Luna didn't question why she was taking it. Celestia left the room and closed the door, but as she journeyed down the halls, she swore she heard her younger sister crying. So, I guess that was the first episode of the Assassination of Twilight Sparkle. I hope you enjoyed. The link to the first chapter will be in the description below. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, chaos is magic. Bye-bye.